Today, I kind of wanted to talk about my Pokemon Legends ZA wishlist, the ultimate wishlist from a Kalos fan. Now, obviously, Pokemon X and Y are flawed games, and obviously since then, those games haven't necessarily aged the best, but I feel like this is the Pokemon Z redemption arc that Game Freak is looking for with those games. And honestly, I mean, it makes sense, besides, Generation 6, there aren't that many Pokemon games that really need a remake. I mean, Generation 5, oddly enough, is still pretty much perfect. Like, it holds up well in today's gen. I can go back and play Black and White and be perfectly fine. And you could argue Johto because we still have yet to have a Johto where the game actually scales, and I guess to the big depth that we are now in Pokemon. But I do think a Generation 5 and a Johto game is coming, if not later this year, because of course we need a Pokemon game this year. They gotta drop something. Or anywhere in the future, of course, because this is Game Freak we're talking about. We're talking about a company that has been consistent with their trends for a while. So I kind of wanted to go over things that I think might actually happen in Pokemon Legends ZA. And in the comment section below, I want to invite you guys to join in the discussion. What do you guys want to see in Pokemon Legends ZA? Give me 3 things. Give me whatever feature you want, whatever improvement you want from the last Pokemon Legends game, and whatever, I guess, historical, nostalgic thing you want from X and Y to be elaborated on and or added in the game as well. Here's some things that I got. First of all, I guess this is kind of a given at this point. Pokemon, or new Mega Evolution Pokemon. If you know, there's been several interviews in the past regarding them and what happened with X and Y and how there were some Pokemon that were supposed to get Mega Evolutions but weren't, unfortunately. Flygon being the biggest offender here. And like I said earlier, this is kind of like a Pokemon Z redemption arc to the point where we can actually get that, Mega Flygon. And it's been about 3 generations since X and Y. So not only can we kind of finish off all the Kanto Pokemon that don't have any alternate or any ultimate forms, but we can also give some newer Pokemon some newer love, or maybe some Pokemon native to the Kalos region. Like maybe we can get a Mega Aegislash, because obviously Aegislash is a Sword and Shield, but what if we give it another form? I remember back in the day, they used to have hella fan art regarding Mega Evolutions, and so why not make some of those real? It would be cool to see Delphox and, what's the name? Chestnut get a new form as well, seeing as Greninja has Battle Bond. And I mean, screw it, let's give Greninja another form, why not? We can give Nidoking and Nidoqueen forms, which will, I guess, go for, just how you get them. Dragonite still hasn't been touched, which is really going to be cool to see if that does happen. And seeing as Generation 5 is the next games in line for remakes, we can give some Generation Pokemon, let's say Crocodile or Dredagon, their own forms as well. Another thing that I would like to see is the underground Lumio City, or the Lumio City catacombs, because if you don't know, there's actual catacombs under Paris. So it'd be cool to see if there's a little ancient city or an ancient base under the whole city as we're building it back up. That'd be cool. And I mean, who knows, because it's a maze, there might be a legendary Pokemon down there, or that's where they're gonna host those legendary hunts that they used to do back in Sword and Shield. I forgot the name of the event, but you play with your friends and you go through the little labyrinths or whatever, and you get a legendary Pokemon afterwards. What if it's like that, Or maybe they have a more darker, sinister origin where it's oh, this is where the Lumio City is built upon, where the war was taking place, or where the old kingdom used to be, something like that, Another thing I would like to see is Azi's Floette, or a event dedicated to Azi's Floette, because obviously we've only ever seen Azi's Floette in game, maybe through the last cutscene, and then through the cutscene where they talk about the war that happened forever ago, and we never officially got an actual release for this Pokemon. And I mean, who knows if this is a Pokemon Scarlet and Violet kind of tie-in. Maybe Azi's Floette is a Paradox Pokemon, and the ancient weapon is what caused the crater in Paldea. You never know, right? It might be a cool little turn, But it'd be just a really good Pokemon to finally have after what, 10 years of not even having it be released. Hoopa got released, Volcanion got released, Diancie got released. It's yo, are we gonna do something with this, Oh yeah, speaking about those two, Hoopa and Volcanion, I would love a event dedicated to those two as well. Sure, Hoopa and Volcanion have been officially released through mystery gift events, but I'm thinking about an actual story maybe like a good like 10-minute side quest that you can go on, or maybe like a 15-20-minute side quest where you go into the catacombs and Volcanion is sitting there, or let's say there's like weird wormholes coming around the region and you got to go through and I guess stop those or help them or fight something, and then at the end you fight Hoopa in his unbound form. Like there should be like an event for those guys, you know, there should be. And another thing, I would like a quest involving the Ghost Girl. If you remember back in X and Y, there was a Ghost Girl that was in one of the I guess the skyscrapers in Lumio City, and for some reason it was never mentioned again. It was never brought back. It was never like even hinted to. There wasn't anything about it. This Ghost Girl was just like a different thing entirely. And who knows, right? Maybe it might be one of those things where they just have it in the, I guess, the game, and it's just there to be creepy and do something to you. But I would like if it was like something, let's say something more cooler, where this woman that's like looking for you, the one she was looking for, is you, the character, returning back to Kalos, whether you're like, you know, the hero from Legends Arceus, or you're like an ancestor of Callum, and you're just sitting there just like, you know, I helped you in the past. Oh, you look like the guy that, you know, helped me. You're not him. Okay, never mind. And you leave, and it's okay, cool, we're good. You know, that'd be really cool. I saw some people say they don't want Legends ZA to be a Legends Arceus sequel, which does suck, because I think story-wise, those games make a lot of sense, you know? And now that I'm thinking about it, it would be kind of cool to have like an actual continuity going on with Pokemon, because even though there is a timeline to the events of Pokemon, there isn't like a concrete timeline in a sense where like these events happen, all these universes and regions kind of just coexist together in the same world. But it would be cool to have like an actual storyline where it's like, oh yeah, Arceus brought back this character, and this character's from this region, or the girl character's from this region, and we help stop whatever is in Hisui. Then we go and do the Legends ZA stuff, and we go to Kalos. Then the next game we go and do the Johto stuff, and we're pretty much just fixing these worlds to make sure that the events happen, to make sure that, like, you know, the games that we all know and love are canon and still do happen. You know, it'd be kind of cool to see that. And I mean, we could treat Legends like a, I don't want to say a spin-off series, but an addition to the main series games, right? Because obviously we know the remakes are main series games, and whatever generations that, you know, come up after them, or I guess introduce them to the world or whatever, is main series games. We already have 2 main series games. Why not add Legends to that continuity? So now we have 3 main series and obviously, like, it kind of just go, you know what I'm trying to say, like, we just add another thing, because I don't know if you noticed, a lot of the spin-off games we've been getting are, I want to say, like, you know, mobile games for the most part, and we haven't really gotten like a console spin-off game besides the Mystery Dungeon remakes and Pokemon Snap remake. So it's like, I don't know what even, you know what I'm saying, it just makes no sense. And lastly, I think the last thing that I would like to see is what Team Flare's past organization does to this region. Because oddly enough, Team Flare, outside of Lysander's like initial goal and real intentions behind the organization, Lysander himself has actually done a whole bunch about the progression of Kalos and Lumio City. He actually is the reason why we have the holograph thing. So it'd be cool to see like Team Flare play a different role in this game, or probably the same role but to a better extent, and obviously not be the bad guys, you know? But that's all I have on this wish list. Let me know in the comment section below what are some things you guys would like to see and expanded upon and or added on to Kalos's lore, and, you know, whatever Pokemon you want to see Mega Evolution. And that's pretty much it. Leave a like and a comment, subscribe for more, and let's get into the rest of these videos, man.